During the most recent tests of the indie game I'm making, I found that it was really fun to play. However, not very competitive. The problem laid in procedural map generation. One of the main ideas I had for the game, which I even featured in my first ever devlog. The system turned out to be too random to reliably play with. Often, primals would spawn in peculiar positions, difficult to move away from. Sometimes, map would give great advantage to one of the players. Like in this example, red player uses frogs, which are shooting characters. Because of the map layout, it would be very hard for the blue player to rush him down. I have decided that I need to have symmetrical maps, so that the chances of winning are even. Randomization is cool, but I think that I need handcrafted maps for the most balanced gameplay. To make the long story short, we are trying to adapt the game to a more competitive environment, which is 1v1 combat. To do so, I need to make a map generator, save the maps created there, somehow, and allow my code to load those, instead of creating new ones. It is, however, easier said than done, given that my code began with map generation and, in a way, my whole game is built around it. My script called map renderer has over 1300 lines, so you may already tell it won't be a walk in the park. Especially as placing primals on the battlefield is a part of map generation too. So everything I want to do is to flip my code upside down. I will not falter though. Let's begin with handcrafting maps. I'm creating a new scene in which I want to make them. The things I need for sure are an empty grid to show me what is placed where, a toolbox to choose which hex I'm placing, and a system to highlight hexes, to know where am I clicking. I will begin with copying code and elements from my main scene, only to realize I cannot use any of those complex interwoven systems, and that it will be way faster to make everything from the ground up. After a while, I have created a very simple system. This is my main code piece. This part here spawns an empty grid of a given size. It also adds all of created hexes to a list. We will need it later. Each hex has a button on it, which when clicked changes this hex's type to a globally set one. Whenever I click any of those toolbar buttons, I change my global hex type, which I keep in a static class. So I press a hex type I want to paint with. Then I click hexes I want to change to it. That way I may create my whole map in whatever way I desire. Whenever I want to save this map, I will click this button. Using the list I have, since I created it during creation of the grid, I have a reference to each and every hex on the map. I just check their types and write them in form of numbers, 0 to 5. For the longest time, I was searching how to make my script save data in runtime. Maybe I would then also load the saved data with the script too. However, it was so late already, and I was very tired when I realized, hey, I just do it for myself. It doesn't need to be any pretty. So yeah, I print the longest debug.log you've ever seen, copy it by hand and paste it to my notepad with all the maps code. FBI, open up! Give this video a like. It may be atrociously inelegant. However, given that I have to make the map by hand anyway, it isn't a big time loss to save the data this way. Besides, it is also quite easy to load it. I have created a system which may load a handmade map instead of generating a new one. I just check this box in my map data. Now all the generation-based data becomes obsolete, and I paste my map string here. Now, when my map generation algorithm will see this information, it will just load handmade map. Very cool. What's best in this system is that if I don't like something, I may just paste the same code into the map generation again, and I may work on fixes or changes ASAP. Then copy the code again and bam, it works in game. Is the system perfect? Not really. Of course it would be better to exchange information between the systems instantly, but I'm too lazy to learn that for now, as I have all the maps for the tests already prepared and I won't be making any more of them for now. I already have some interesting stuff. I got some beginner maps, huge maps, maps with a lot of empty space, relying on you to build bridges to reach your enemies. Are they perfect? Surely no. But I may easily change them, and besides, I want to see in what environment my game is fun to play and when it isn't. And designing extreme maps allows me to check that quickly. Plus, the fact that I may make them symmetrical automatically makes them at least a little balanced. That's been my map making system. Let me know what kind of map would you create in the comments. And if you want to see the gameplay of Primal Frey, click the video visible on the screen right now.